Good morning. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward, State Court of Clayton County. This is the jail and arraignment calendar, probation revocation calendar for September 10th of 2024. I'm going to start with the arraignment calendar. First case on the calendar is Omar Shahith Lanier. Mr. Lanier, I see you on. You got to talk to me. I need to hear you and see you. Okay, that's Mayo. All right, so we'll come back to Lanier. Nicholas Jordan Mayo.
Judge, Mr. Mayo is present. He's with his father. I do need to conference with the state about that matter. I know he has two cases on the calendar. If we can't get those resolved today, we'll likely enter a not guilty plea, but I do think it's something we need to get resolved. But I do need to talk to the state about that to see if we can come to
All right, at the appropriate time, I'll set up a breakout room with the state. Mr. Mayo, just hold on for me, okay? Anaya McCoy.
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning, Ms. McCoy. Ms. McCoy, you're charged with no insurance. You don't have an attorney representing you. Do you wish to have an attorney or do you wish to represent yourself?
I wish to represent myself.
How old are you, Ms. McCoy?
23.
Okay, so Ms. McCoy, I'm gonna set up a breakout room for you if necessary, but first, let's hear what the state is proposing for the no insurance. It's a statutory case, which means that the fines and fees are already written into the law. So let's see what they're proposing. Ms. Hagler?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Ms. McCoy, if you do not have valid proof of insurance today, the state is offering a fine of $200.
Okay, so the ticket was from February 28th, 2022, right?
Yeah, but you don't have to have, she's not asking for insurance on that particular vehicle if you don't still have it. Just if you have a vehicle now, do you currently have insurance?
No, I don't currently have a vehicle. And even back then, I did research. I didn't have a car at that time. My car had got stolen on the 2nd, and I had filed a police report with Riverdale Police Department. So I have all the paperwork for that. Even with my insurance, I filed a claim telling them that my car was stolen, and I never got my car back. Like, I got a piece of mail probably like 2 months later from the place that had my car. My car was totaled. Somebody stole it and wrecked it. So that's why I'm confused about getting a ticket from February 28th anyways, because I wasn't driving at the time.
Your Honor, at the end, if you can please put us in a breakout room, that way I can look at whatever proof she has and we can see if we can get this resolved today. Thank you.
So Ms. McCoy, get your paperwork. And so in a few minutes, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with the state and y'all can talk about all of that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Tashira Islar Michelle.
Judge, she's in the courtroom. I believe we are going to take a plea to the state's offer. If I could ask Ms. Hagler to just put that offer on the record very quick to make sure that it's what I already advised Ms. Michelle of, just to avoid any confusion.
Will do. Stand by, please.
Okay, and the next person is Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor. So Mr. Taylor's in the courtroom. Okay.
Present in the courtroom, Judge. I'm having them approach. Just you're gonna stand right here, and that they can see you, and they can also hear you. So.
All right, Mr. Taylor, did you need an attorney to represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself? You're charged with no tag, expired or invalid tag, and marijuana 1 ounce or less. I'm sorry. Come up to the podium and speak up for me. Okay. Mr. Lynch or Mr. Taylor are in the courtroom, and they can help you with your case, okay?
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay. All right. So when you're ready, Ms. Hagler, you had something about Ms. Michelle.
Take a seat and I'm gonna come give you some information. And also for Mr. Taylor, if y'all could send me the offer, the accusation and the police report if you have one in the offer, and I may be able to get that resolved.
Well, he was supposed to be providing some documentation to my legal assistant, so I am pending that documentation.
Sure.
He had already gotten in touch with y'all?
He has, I'm just waiting on the
Okay.
documentation, so I'm not sure where we're at in that process.
Okay, well, this might be resolved much easier than we think.
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can we have a few minutes? We're just verifying it still.
Yeah, that's fine, Ms. Arnold. Mr. Lanier?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Lanier. You're charged with driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, suspended registration, no tag, expired or invalid tag, no insurance, defective equipment, and marijuana 1 ounce or less. So if you're NOLO eligible, you may be able to avoid a suspension of your license if you take a plea to or were convicted of any of these, because there's a few of them that might suspend your license if you didn't have a NOLO available to you. Did you wish to represent yourself, or did you wish to have an attorney represent?
I represent myself.
Okay, are you over 21?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, what is the state's recommendation on Mr. Lanier's case?
Yes, Your Honor. If the defendant does not have, does not have proof of any of these charges today, for count 1, a fine of $500. For count 2 and 3, the state is going to NARPROS those counts. For count 4, a fine of $100. For count 5, a fine of $200. For count 6, a fine of $50, and the state's going to NARPROS count 7.
All right, so Mr. Lanier, do you have proof of insurance or tag registration?
No, ma'am. I don't have that car anymore, and I haven't driven a car in 2 years since this incident happened.
Okay. All right. Is he NOLO eligible?
Is his license still suspended, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
It is, okay. 1 second. If he is, let me double check.
I was trying to get this handled and situated, but every time I looked up the case, it said nothing could be found.
Unfortunately, Your Honor, the defendant is not NOLO eligible. He used his NOLO plea on December 28th of 2022.
Okay. So, Mr. Lanier, if you entered a plea of guilty to driving on a suspended or revoked license, you're going to get another suspension of your license, which will run concurrent, I guess, with any suspension that you got for the no insurance.
And how long will that be?
I think it's 120 days. Am I correct, Ms. Hagan?
That sounds about right, Your Honor.
Yeah.
So in 120 days, I'm able to reinstate my license.
You should be. If you don't, but you got to make sure that you don't keep driving, because if you do,
Yes,
then you will get another. If you get another one, then it'll be $1,000 and a further suspension. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah, but if you did that, then you should be finished with it in 120 days. Is from the date of conviction, which would be today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So did you want to enter that plea?
I mean, either way, my license is gonna still remain suspended until I pay it. So, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Lanier, just hold on just 1 second. Did you have an announcement for me, Deputy Flippin? I can't hear you. It's muted. Oh, maybe he's talking to the other deputy. All right. 1 second. All right, so, Mr. Lanier, let me
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
you and see you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your patience. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court for case 2022 CR 00741, Omar Shahif Lanier, and you're representing yourself. You're over the age of 21. You're entering a plea of guilty to the following offenses. The following offenses are before the court: driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, suspended registration, no tag or expired or invalid tag, no insurance, defective equipment, and marijuana 1 ounce or less. You're entering a plea of guilty to count 1, count 4, count 5, count 6, and count 7 will be no cost, and counts 2 and 3 will be no. By entering the plea, you give up a right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about January 19th, 2022, Officer A. Lamb, L-A-M-B as in boy, in Clayton County, Georgia, observed the defendant operate a 2015 Volkswagen Passat while traveling south on Jonesboro Road in lane number 1 with a defective brake light on the passenger side that was not illuminated while driving in night mode. Upon check of the defendant's vehicle registration on his MCT via GCIC and NCIC, Officer Lamb learned that the registration was suspended and there was no active insurance on the vehicle. The defendant also informed Officer Lamb that his insurance had recently lapsed. Upon a check of the defendant's driver's license status on Officer Lamb's GCIC and NCIC, he did learn that that license was suspended as well for some failures to appears and some other charges. Upon probable cause, Officer Lamb searched the vehicle and found 1 package of cannabis and a green leafy substance weighing 11.63 grams. Your Honor, at this time, the state's offer for count 1 is a fine of $500. For counts 2 and 3 will be not pros. Count 4, a fine of $100. Count 5, a fine of $200. Count 6, a fine of $50, and count 7 will be not pros.
All right. So, sir, the $500 fine is going to be $737.50 with the surcharges. The $100 fine will be $150.50 with $151.50 with the surcharges. The $200 fine will be $298 with the surcharges, and the $50 fine is going to be $83.25. I can give you up to 60 days to pay without putting you on probation, or we have a probation option that would give you up to 12 months to pay, and it would
Yes, ma'am.
terminate as soon as you finish paying.
Okay, and just so I can have a grand total, how much is the total of everything?
Looking at least over
1,200.
Mhm.
Yeah, round number is about $1,200.
Okay,
That with all the surcharges.
yes, ma'am.
So did you wish to have the additional time of the pay only probation, or did you need the 60 days?
No, I'll do the 60 days.
Okay. All right. So please make sure you pay on or before the 60th day, or an arrest warrant will be issued. What I need you to do now is, do you know how to use the chat function?
Um, yes.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is when you pull up the chat function, you're gonna click on the name that's in blue. Once you click on that name, it'll do a pull down menu, and the first name on the menu is Amanda Wright, Ryte. Click on her name and please send her your email address. She's going to email back your sentence with all of the information about how to pay online, by phone, or come in person to 9151 Tierra Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am. And I have a question. Can I do it? Do I have to pay all of it all at one time, or can I break the payments up?
If you make the payments in part, you need to come in to do it. If
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want to pay it all at one time, you can do that by coming in, or you can do it online or by phone.
Okay.
So if you just want to make partial payments, that's fine, but just you have to make them at the window.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Lanier?
No, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Lanier, I know this is some years after this happened, but sir, you had a lot of stuff going on that could have been avoided. Like, you got all this document stuff that was going on when you can fix that. So let's not do that again, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because it's once you got a cascade, if your license isn't right, your insurance isn't going to be right. If your insurance isn't right, then that's going to mean you can't get your tag registered. And it's just a domino effect. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, all right. Once you send that text message, that chat to Miss Wright, then you'll be free to go just check your email. And if you don't see it in the next day or so, look in your spam folder, okay?
Yes, ma'am. And one more question. 120 days, I can reinstate my license.
You'd have to go to the Department of Driver Services. It should work that way, depending on, I guess, if you are already in a suspension period, that's counting down. Ours should start from this date forward. So 120 days is when this suspension should be over.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
But I would check beforehand with the Department of Driver Services.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right then. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. So, so everyone else, I guess, is represented by Lister and Holt except Miss McCoy. Miss McCoy, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss Hagler and Mr. Lynch. Once Miss Hagler is finished speaking with Miss McCoy, I'll put you in a breakout room. Yes, ma'am. Who's that in the?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little premature. I did miss.
Is that Miss Michelle?
Miss Michelle does want to go forward with the negotiated plea, but at the proper time. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Let me just go ahead and see if Ms. Hagler and Ms. McCoy can resolve whatever they have with the document. All right. All right. So I'm going to put Ms. Hagler and Ms. McCoy in breakout room number 1. Ms. Hagler, Ms. McCoy, once you touch the screen, the invitation should show up. In order to get out of the breakout room, you should be able to touch your screen or move your cursor, and it should give you instructions about how to get out. All right. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Your Honor, I have an announcement on Ms. McCoy whenever you are ready.
1 second for me. Thank you.
Um,
All right, Ms. Hagler, you had an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. McCoy, position, page 2, it says on a non-part case.
All right, Ms. McCoy, your case is being null pros, ma'am. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
May I make an announcement?
Yes, sir.
Judge, for Nicholas Mayo, he is present.
Yes.
He has a important session he needs to get to.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna have to work pretty hard to get a deal that makes sense in this case. So at this time, we're gonna enter a not guilty plea on
Okay.
Mr. Mayo's behalf. I guess I would request that it goes on the next trial period if possible. Just I do anticipate a negotiated resolution. There's just kind of a lot going on in this case and a lot of issues that need to be addressed.
Okay. Well, it's a 2021, so you know, it's likely that, and we cleared a lot of cases off this calendar, so it's likely that it'll be present on either the next or the calendar after that.
Sure, Judge, and I don't anticipate us needing a trial. It's just I think you're aware of why the case is
Yeah.
so there's just some issues that need to be addressed. So it makes sense for Mr.
I
Mayo.
got you.
Thank
All
you.
right. So, Mr. Mayo, you're excused at this time. Thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
Tashira,
Thank
Michelle, do we have an announcement on Michelle?
Michelle's going to accept the negotiated plea offer from the state.
All right, come on down, ma'am. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Tashira Islar Michelle, 2024 CR 03499 for theft by shoplifting. You're represented by Owen Lynch with the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what is your client plea to the offense before the court?
Judge, she pleads guilty.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty to theft by shoplifting, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am? You gotta speak up for me. All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about October 26th of 2023, at 4723 Jonesboro Road, Forest Park, Clayton County, Georgia, Officer J. Chandler, CHANDLER, did issue a warrant for the defendant for the offense of theft by shoplifting. According to the warrant, the defendant took items of clothing in the amount of $115.93 and one item of jewelry in the amount of $7 from this location, which is actually a commercial business, Rainbow.
I knew I was Rainbow. I was about to tell you it was Rainbow.
With the intent to appropriate the merchandise to her own use without paying, passing all points of sale. Your Honor, at this time, the state's offer is 12 months probation, 80 hours of community service. The defendant is to complete the theft prevention course and to stay away and not return to the incident location. Again, that address is 4723 Jonesboro Road, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297. And again, the commercial business is Rainbow.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Just a couple of things, Your Honor. One thing I just want to make sure is addressed is she does have an active bench warrant at this time. I don't know if we need to do a recall since the case is closed, but I just want to make sure that that bench warrant is taken care of. We would ask the court to accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Michelle is currently, I believe, well, she was currently homeless, or she was homeless, and now she has a place. She's getting rid of this bench warrant is going to allow her to work, so she'll be able to afford a place for her and her child to stay. But we would ask the court to consider waiving probation fees as she is pretty deep in the hole at this point, because her main source of income involved driving.
If Miss Michelle was stealing food from the grocery store or formula or diapers, that would be a different conversation. But Rainbow is clubwear. That's where you go to get your little picnic outfit or your little cute little barbecue outfit. And she stole jewelry too. Don't shake your head, ma'am. What you need jewelry for?
So, Judge, she's accepting responsibility. My understanding
That don't stop me from fussing.
I know, and I'm not going to attempt to stop you from speaking to her. I just wanted to let you know, I believe at the time she was an employee of Rainbow. Is that accurate? And she was attempting to exchange some items, but that wasn't approved, and she moved forward with it anyway, which is where the theft came in. But it's not as though she was just in there, with getting 5-finger discounts out of nowhere.
Well, that's good. That's better. Because, I mean, before she even finished saying the address, I knew it was Rainbow. Yeah. Miss Michelle, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty, ma'am. I'm going to sentence you to 12 months probation, 80 hours of community service, a theft prevention course, and you're not to go back to any Rainbow in Clayton County for the 12 months.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When you leave, yes. All right. I'll suspend the supervision fees, Mr. Lynch.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. When you leave the courtroom, you're going to go to your right. That's courtroom 305. The probation intake expert, Ms. James, is in there. She's going to allow you to come in. If she doesn't have anybody with her, she's in one of the rooms past that first set of double doors into the courtroom. If not, she's going to ask you to wait in the hallway until she can take you. Okay. All right. Do not leave there without going to probation. The quickest way to get rearrested is to miss your probation reports. No matter what else is going on, you need to report. Okay. All right. You can go back, going out into the hallway.
I have an announcement on page 3, Mr. Taylor, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Your Honor, the state's going to null pros that case.
All right. So, Mr. Taylor, the case has been null pros. You're free to go at this time. All right. All right. So that concludes the arraignment calendar. Now the jail calendar. We have a petition on the first case, Kieran Davis.
Yeah, she can hear it.
Are we ready on Davis, or do I need to just go through the list?
She wants to accept what Ms. Chang is proposing, and I would anticipate you would be okay with it considering the type of case.
Okay, so Stip and agree. All right, Dana Maurice Dodson.
Judge, he wants to take a interim plea today.
Okay. Manuel Gonzalez Galvan.
Judge, I anticipate us getting that resolved today. However, he does need a Spanish interpreter. Miss Fitzpatrick was just here. However, she momentarily left to go up to Superior Court. So if we can just hold for her, I don't anticipate that taking long.
Okay, no problem. All right. Jayla Jean-Baptiste.
Judge, is she in custody? On my calendar, I'm not showing an active inmate. I don't believe that anyone of that name was in
All
custody.
right, let's check and see if Miss Jean-Baptiste is out OTB. I have her on the calendar twice, and I don't know if that was it. No, it didn't print twice. This is two different cases of driving on a suspended license and no license.
Judge, she's out to bond as of 9/6.
Actually, three cases. She's got a shoplifting also. Okay. So bench warrant, oh, I'm sorry, she's an OTB, sorry. So she'll be on the next arraignment calendar, regular arraignment.
Judge, and I do have Miss Davis here. I'm sorry, I had instructed deputy to bring her out. That was an error. I apologize.
All right, Anita Manuel. Who do you have with you?
This is Miss Davis, the probation matter. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. I was just going through the calendar because I think that is, oh my God. So Miss Anita Manuel has has 1, 2, 3 cases. For Lister Holton Dennis. Are y'all talking to her or?
I've spoken to her, Judge, and if my understanding of the recommendation is correct, she's going to accept it. I believe, well, yes, my understanding is we're going to be resolving 2 of her cases. The state's going to null pros 1.
Okay. Jamal Shante McGowan.
Judge, that I'm almost positive that's going to be a not guilty, but if I could just hold that announcement momentarily just to.
Okay, get me an appointment order if I need to sign one.
Oh, are we not on? McGowan is the. That's the DUI case, right?
Right, DUI.
Yes, Judge. I'll get you an appointment order if you don't have. I thought.
Okay, Jesse Deocean Morris, also a DUI.
Is that person in custody? Are we sure? What's the name? Morris?
Jesse Morris.
I don't believe he's in custody. I think he may have made bond, Judge.
Okay. Cortez DeCarlos Rucker.
Judge, we're going to enter a not guilty plea today.
Okay. All right, Rucker can go back. And last case on the calendar is Walsh, Lisa Walsh.
Judge, that's going to be a not guilty plea as well.
All right, Walsh can go back.
Walsh can. Yeah. Walsh.
All right, Ms. Davis, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true. Speak up for me.
Yes.
All right. All right, Ms. Chang, you ready? Okay. You're before the court, Ms. Davis, on State of Georgia versus Kieran N. Davis, 2021 CR 05893. You were before this court for driving on a suspended or revoked license on the 5th day of October, 2023, and you were sentenced to 12 months probation to pay. You have 1 month and 6 days remaining. You failed to report on October 10th, November 15th, December 15th of 2023, January 18th, February 15th, February 28th, April 10th, May 15th, June 15th, July 9th, and in person within 10 days of August 2nd of 2024. You last reported to probation on April 1st of 2024 by phone. You have failed to pay your $630 in arrears. What's going on with her case, Mr. Lynch?
Well, Judge, I believe she had some issues with having a stable place to stay, Judge. She was basically homeless. I know she did make some payments. I believe she paid 150 towards the fine. I know she should have reported, Judge. However, she has been, well, that's basically what it is. She's homeless and.
Okay. All right, Ms. Chang, what's the recommendation?
Your Honor, probation recommends that 6 days be revoked credit for time served as of September 4th when she was locked up, and close the case.
Okay. All right, that sounds reasonable. Ma'am, how is your housing now?
Currently I'm in process of getting another spot.
Okay. And when you say a spot, it's like, are we talking about something that could become permanent? What are you working?
No, not right now.
Okay. When you work, what type of work do you do?
Warehouse production associates.
Okay. Did you finish high school?
Ma'am.
Huh?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take the recommendation that Ms. Chang and Mr. Lynch have talked about. I'm going to go ahead and give you credit for time served for the 6 days, and the case will be closed. Okay.
Ma'am.
All right. So I do know that probation has a new provider that is helping with things like housing, but your case is going to be closed soon. I don't think that there's any way, but there may be some information. If you come back and see Ms. Chang, she may have some information about this new provider that we have in Clayton County that could get you possibly back on track as far as housing. Okay. All right. So I hope all goes well.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
And Your Honor, that's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I was gonna, I have the interpreter here for Mr. Galvin. If I, is it okay if I go and advise Mr. Galvin with Ms. Fitzpatrick while I have
Yes.
here? Okay.
Yes.
And Ms. Hagler, I sent you a quick chat about Mr. Galvin's sentence. Did you see that?
I'm looking at it now.
Okay.
I'll respond.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm sending over the probation revocation order now.
Okay. Judge, Mr. Taylor has returned to the courtroom. He just wanted to inquire whether he had a bench warrant on the case. He wanted to make sure that would be addressed and he would be able to.
Ms. Wright, for Mr. Taylor, Robert Taylor, can we just make sure that there's no bench warrant? If so, I'll go ahead and set it aside, but the no problem should take care of it.
That's what I thought. He came in. I just want to make sure I raised it with the court.
All right. So Mr. Taylor, I noted it on the calendar. So we're going to check for that. And if there is one that hasn't been canceled by your appearance and the completion of your case, we'll go ahead and do whatever order is necessary. All right.
There is one on his case. The no pros doesn't necessarily take care of it. There will have to be a
Okay, thank you.
set aside.
So if I can get a bench warrant set aside, Ms. Arnold, for Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor, I'm going to go ahead and sign that today. I sign electronically, so it'll be done today and sent to the clerk's office. All right, thank you, sir.
Judge, I have all the orders for today, ready for signature.
I'm sorry.
I have all the orders for all the defendants and the set-asides ready.
Okay, that's fine. If you want to bring them to me on the bench, that's fine, or if you want to
Okay.
send them electronically.
Thank you.
All right, and so Mr. Lynch, you said you needed to speak to some other people?
Yes, I was gonna talk to Mr. Galvin, and then I think other than making sure that Mr. McGowan is gonna go not guilty, then I think I've addressed everyone.
Yeah, if you tell me it's potentially a not guilty, if so, then go ahead and when you finish talking to him, he can be sent back.
Okay,
All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark the calendar and just wait for your announcement.
Galvin. Because he's an interpreter, and I'm waiting for her to respond to me. How long have you been in? I don't know, but it's long enough for him to turn. He probably missed a quarter. He's probably why he's in here. He probably missed a quarter date, but still. Hey, Mr. McGowan, if you could let Mr. McGowan sit here.
He's been here for 19 days. For this. He said he got a bond, but he couldn't pay. The wallet is in. Hi, Judge. She's not here. Trying to get her attention. I need to go to Judge Mason.
Miss Sonia, are y'all ready?
Yeah, let me bring him out.
Okay,
Judge Mason is waiting for me.
I got you. I don't want to make him mad.
Yeah. You know that. Oh my goodness. Let me bring him out. She's gonna take us.
Okay.
Mr. Lynch,
Yes, Judge.
can I ask why he's in jail for improper passing?
Judge, I had the same question. I'm assuming if there's not a FTA, then I really don't know what's going on.
I wouldn't have done an FTA on this. I generally would do a sign on.
I don't know if Ms. Hagler has any idea about.
I do not. I have had my investigator look into it, but I do not at the moment.
All right, Mr. Galvin, Galvan, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, I
All
swear.
right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're before the court on 2024 CR 07199 for improper passing. You're represented by Mr. Owen Lynch. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
Judge, we ask the court to accept the no contest plea.
By entering a plea of nolo, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And Mr. Galvan, if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things, sir?
Yes.
Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about August 23rd of 2024, Clayton County, Georgia, Officer M as in Mary Jones, Jones, as in Sam, issued a warrant for the defendant. While on patrol, Officer Jones observed a white SUV driven by the defendant go around traffic by driving down the shoulder at a reckless speed. Officer Jones then stopped the defendant, who noted that the defendant took an extended amount of time to pull over. Officer Jones observed the defendant was swaying and slurring his speech. The defendant admitted to Officer Jones that he drank at least 6 Modelo, M as in Mary, O, D as in David, ELO beers before driving. The defendant refused to participate in the field evaluations and also refused implied consent. Your Honor, at this time, the state's offer on count 1 is a fine of $85.
All right. Mr. Lynch?
Judge, I would just ask that the fine be suspended for time served. He's been in custody for 19 days, I believe.
Okay. All right, the fine will be suspended for time served. And this is all that is holding him?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Your Honor,
well,
it appeared that there was a DUI.
Downgraded?
I'll have to get more information, but it appeared that it was DUI. The charge got dismissed in magistrate court. So still trying to look and see exactly what's going on, but there was a DUI on the book.
Okay. All right. So, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, credit for time served, and you'll be free to go at this time. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Suerte. What can I do to find out where my car is? Because they took his car.
The sheriff's office has an impound, has information about the impound lot. So if you ask when you're processing out about the impound, and they can give you, they usually have like a printed sheet of paper that'll give you the information about that.
Okay, just thank you.
Sheriff.
Thank you. And sir, Mr. Gabon,
Sorry.
do not drink and drive, sir. Let's not repeat this behavior.
He promised, he said.
All right, thank you.
So,
All right, so Mr. Lynch, a lot of these are doubles and triples, so one person has a lot of stuff. Let me know what you're ready on next.
So,
You still need to talk to some people, that's fine.
well, I've talked to everybody. The only thing maybe is if I just have to fully explain the recommendation to Mr. McGowan, and then everyone else is ready to go forward, except for if Ms. Hagler, if maybe we could go in a breakout room. I just want to make sure that I expressed the global resolution to
Ms. Manuel?
Manuel correctly, because I hadn't spoken to you, so I put my own interpretation on it, but I believe that was correct.
I'm gonna put y'all in a breakout room because Mr. Lynch is interpreting.
I think it's the most reasonable interpretation.
All right, breakout room number 1.
Your Honor, who did you want next?
Whoever Mr. Lynch is ready on, I'm ready.
And then another $100 fine. That is correct. If we're not guilty, I'm gonna come talk to you about the bond. Okay? I'm gonna look into when the FK happens, see if I can negotiate with them. Apologize, Judge. Mr. McGowan, we are going to enter not guilty plea today.
Okay, he can go back.
You can go back. And then I'm ready for any of the pleas. We can go ahead and do Mr. Dodson.
Okay.
Stand right here and just look for that.
Hey, Mr. Dodson,
All right.
how you doing, sir? You doing okay?
Ma'am.
All right. So Mr. Dodson, raise your right hand for me, okay? You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. So Mr. Lynch, Mr. Owen Lynch is representing you. You're charged with criminal trespass, and this is case 2024 CR 06929. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
No contest, Judge.
All right. So by entering a NOLO plea, Mr. Dodson, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present evidence and testimony on your behalf, and to not incriminate yourself. And Mr. Dodson, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of those things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How's Mr. Dodson doing today, Mr. Lynch?
He seems to be doing well. We had a conversation about the charges and the fact that he is most likely banned from going to the airport unless he has a ticket. He told me he understands that.
Okay. Mr. Dodson, you're going to have to stay out of the airport for me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So recommend factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about August 1st of 2024, Clayton County, Georgia, specifically at 600 South Terminal Parkway, Officer D. Harpe, Harpe, issued a warrant for the defendant. The defendant entered and remained on Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport property. The defendant was given a criminal trespass warning on July 11th of 2024. The defendant was told to not return to the airport property unless he had airport business. The defendant was seen loitering on a bench near door S as in Sam 4 by Captain D. Wilson. The defendant did not have any reason to be at the airport. Your Honor, at this time, the state's offer is 12 months to serve 60 days, and the defendant is to stay away and do not return to the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport due to the current criminal trespass warning in place unless he is there for official airport business.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Lynch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Dodson, I'm going to accept your plea of NOLO. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 60 days. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport or have any other violations of the law, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Dodson, they make it hard. They're making it harder to go to the airport. So I'm gonna need you to not keep going back there, okay?
Go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
You can go back with the sheriff. Okay, so Anita Manuel.
Manuel.
And you might be the last one. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Pretty good. We're actually on time. I give you room. Oh, you can stand. If you good, you sure good?
Yeah, I'll be good.
All right, Miss Manuel,
Hi.
raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Anita Manuel, 2022 CR 05656 for reckless conduct. What is your client plead to the offense before that court, before the court on that charge?
Judge, my understanding is that will be the charge the state is going to null cross.
All right, on the case 2024 CR 01018 for criminal trespass, what is your client plead to that offense?
We'd ask the court to accept no law.
Okay, and for the remaining charge 2024 CR 01582 theft by taking, what is your client plead to that?
No contest, Judge.
All right, Miss Manuel, by entering these pleas of NOLO to the two cases that we referred, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to case ending in 5656, the state on the non-prospect case, in regards to the case ending in 1018, on or about July 7th of 2023, at 5116 Highway 85, Forest Park, Georgia, Clayton County. Officer C, Justy, did issue a warrant for the defendant. The defendant did commit the offense of criminal trespass when she was previously issued a criminal trespass warning on June 26th of 2023 and was told to not return to the location after this date. On July 8th, the defendant did return to the location. At this time, Your Honor, the commercial business for this location is OYO Hotel. The state's recommendation for this case is 12 months to serve, 2 days, balance suspended, and the defendant is to not return and to stay away from the incident location. Again, 5116 Highway 85, Forest Park, Georgia, 30349, the OYO Hotel, OYO. And the case ending in 01582, on or about March 24th of 2023 at 5116 Highway 85, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297, Clayton County. Officer T. Williams issued a warrant for the defendant for unlawfully taking a microwave from the OYO Hotel lobby after being told not to do so. The defendant admitted she took the microwave from the hotel lobby to warm up her food. The victim's Carol Billups completed a statement stating that she wanted to press charges for the incident. Your Honor, the state's offer on this case is 12 months to serve, 10 days, credit for time served, balance suspended. And again, the defendant is to stay away and to not return to 5116 Highway 85, Atlanta, Georgia, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297.
All right, Mr. Lynch, what's going on with Ms. Manuel?
Judge, you know, she had a relationship with this hotel. She had stayed there for a long period of time. I believe but you know, no need to try to explain it away, Judge. She is taking responsibility. She did work there at one point.
For several years.
And so that's kind of where some of this stemmed from, is her sort of familiarity with that business and her she understands she cannot return, and she's just asking the court to accept the state's recommendation, which I believe was
Your Honor, just to add, I just received initial information. The victim in the case is requesting restitution amount of $500, being that the microwave was stolen.
For what?
The microwave remained at the premises. If you look at they said they found it in another hotel room.
It was returned.
But I don't know of a $500 microwave, so
right.
I'm gonna need her to swear to that, and then I'm looking at her like she perjuring herself, because I don't know of a $500 microwave, not even a commercial microwave.
Well, Your Honor, we can put this down for restitution hearing. That's not a
We
problem.
could, or we could not. That's not reasonable. So no, I'm not doing that.
Well, the victim is requesting restitution, Your Honor.
Okay.
In this case.
And she needs to come reasonable, because the $500 on microwave, that doesn't make any sense.
She's not even.
And I'm not gonna suborn perjury by having her swear to the fact that she wants $500 for a microwave. So we can set it down for a hearing on a restitution, but she's gonna have to be reasonable.
Yes, Your Honor. We understand that.
All right, $500 ain't making sense to me.
I mean, in the interest of judicial.
Is it? Wait, where was the microwave? Was the microwave still on the premises?
Yes.
Well, according to the warrant, it was taken from the hotel. So
if you look at the warrant,
it was
no. Okay, does the warrant say it was taken from the lobby or taken from the hotel?
The OYO Hotel. the microwave was removed from the Oyo Hotel. I will go back to the actual police report that said there's additional information, but the warrant does say the Oyo Hotel. Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
Okay, what's the police report say?
It indicates that
So the police report said that the defendant came to the hotel lobby and took a microwave without her permission. The victim said, who was the hotel manager, told the defendant to return the microwave. However, the defendant said F-U-C-K-U and walked out of the lobby. And so it doesn't say here that they got the microwave back.
I went to room 337 and made contact with her roommate, who informed me he did not know, but he'll return the microwave.
But nothing says that it was returned. It says he will, but nothing says that he actually returned that the microwave actually returned, which is why they're requesting restitution.
She was arrested. I'm assuming she didn't take the microwave to jail with her.
Like I said, we can have a hearing, but
Okay, we'll have a hearing, but yeah, I'm not for punitives. If the woman has already spent time in jail, if this microwave, if they asking for $500, they better show me $500 worth of missing microwave. And the microwave better not have been found on their premises.
yes, Your Honor.
All right, so it's you can talk to the victim and get them straight on that, but I'm not doing just cause.
But she's
All right, now, Miss Manuel, the other part of this is don't go back there.
I haven't been back.
Okay, because you obviously see that they're not really willing to deal with you.
That wasn't, it's just her. I'm not even dealing
But
with
it doesn't matter if it's just her, the premises. Stay away from the whole place. I don't care if she on that night or if somebody else is managing, stay away from the whole place. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So with case 2024 CR 01018, I'll accept your plea of nolo. I'll send you to 12 months to serve 2 days credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the Oyo Hotel at the address listed. That's to run concurrent with the case 2024 CR 01582. 12 months to serve 10 days credit for time served. Balance suspended as long as you do not go back to the Oyo Hotel address listed, and you're free to go back with the sheriff's office at this time. I did just sign a bench warrant for Miss Manuel, so the bench warrant can be set aside per the plea.
And Your Honor, is there a date for the restitution hearing, or you're still pending that date?
We can put a restitution hearing down. I don't care. Miss Val, what's a good restitution hearing date? Miss Wright, one of y'all.
Let's to be determined. I'll send it.
Okay, Mr. Lynch, get as much information as you can from Miss Manuel, because we keep she keeps going missing. So we need to determine the date of the restitution hearing, but I don't want her to miss it.
I'm about to get her contact, everything I can.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yeah. Yes.
12:30.
Yeah, they might come in a little bit earlier, maybe about 12:20, but yeah, 12:30 is when the jury's coming back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.